Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. And the question for today is define cell cycle and discuss different types and phases of cell cycle. So this question was asked in this year's agriculture optional paper of UPSC Civil Services examination, that is in 2025. So let's see how we can approach the answer. So obviously, in it, there is no need to write something different in introduction. We can simply define what cell cycle is, and then we can move to different types of cell cycle and different phases of cell cycle. So let's start the answer. So first of all, define cell cycle. So what is cell cycle? So cell cycle is the series of events that take place. Cell cycle is the series of events that takes place. Series of events that takes place in a cell leading to its growth. That takes place in a cell leading to its growth, DNA replication and division. Growth, DNA replication and division into two daughter cells. And division into two daughter cells. So this is what or how you can define cell cycle. So cell cycle is a series of events that takes place in a cell leading to its growth, DNA replication and division into two daughter cells. So this is how you can define cell cycle. Now let's move to the next part of the question, that is types of cell cycle. So one thing I must also let you know that this was a 10 marker question. So only 2 pages were given to you for this long question. So you should also be try to be crisp. Okay, whenever you're writing something, you just need to give the examiner an idea that yes, you know all the things in very crisp manner, because here you have to define cell cycle. We have to also define discuss different types and phases. So you have to be crisp. So now let's move to the types of cell cycle. Types of cell cycle. So generally there are 2 types, but in some books 3 types have been discussed. So I will discuss all the 3 types. The first one is the mitotic cell cycle. Mitotic cell cycle. That is, in this cycle mitosis happens. Okay. So in some cell cycles you have observed that mitosis happens, and in some cell cycle meiosis happens. So in mitotic cell cycle, obviously mitosis happens. The main purpose of this cell cycle is growth and repair. Growth and repair, and here only two diploid identical cells are kind of produced. The end product is two diploid identical cells. Two diploid identical cells. Next, after mitotic cell cycle, we have meiotic cell cycle. Meiotic cell cycle. So here meiosis happens. So the main purpose of meiosis is reproduction. So this cell cycle is for the production of reproductive gametes or reproduction. So here the purpose is reproduction, and here 4 haploid gametes are produced. Here you can say 2 diploid cells, here 4 haploid cells. 4 haploid gametes are produced. Next one is the ameiotic cell cycle. So this is a kind of very rare cycle, and it is not that important, but if you remember you can write ameiotic cell cycle. Ameiotic cell cycle. So here the purpose is simple fission, and this happens generally in kind of microbes and smaller organisms. Simple fission, and here the product is two unequal daughter cells. Two unequal daughter cells. So this is ameiotic cell cycle. But if you remember ameiotic, you can write. If you don't remember, you must write at least mitotic and meiotic cell cycles. So these are the types of cell cycle. Now we have to move to phases of cell cycle. After types of cell cycle, we have to move to phases of cell cycle. So let's move to the phases of cell cycle. So actually here we can draw a diagram also, the cell cycle diagram. Okay, first of all you can give here G1 phase, then we have S phase, then we have G2 phase, then we have M phase. This M phase is mitotic or meiotic phase, then cytokinesis happens. So this is the rough diagram of cell cycle which you all know, which you can write G1 phase, then S phase, that is synthesis phase, then D2 phase, then kind of M phase, and then cytokinesis happens. So, and if you see, so this G1S and G2 phase comes under interphase. Interphase, okay. So that you can write. This is also known as resting or preparatory phase. So, and this phase is the M phase. This phase is the M phase. So now let's start with interphase first. Interphase. So this interphase is also known as resting or preparatory phase. Resting or not or resting or preparatory phase, and it takes the 90% of total cell cycle time. 90% of total cell cycle time. Now in interphase, the first phase is the G1 phase. This phase is the period of cell growth and metabolism. Period of cell growth and metabolism. Growth and metabolism. Okay, metabolism. So in this phase, RNA and protein synthesis start to occur. Okay, RNA and protein synthesis occurs. Protein synthesis occurs and cell prepares for DNA replication. Cell prepares for DNA replication. It doesn't happen, but here cell prepares. You can mention here cell prepares for DNA replication, and there are some critical checkpoints also. Okay, checkpoints are there in this phase to ensure that right amount of DNA synthesis is happening. To ensure proper synthesis, checkpoints are there. So this is about G1 phase. Then we have S phase. S phase. So in S phase, which is also known as synthesis phase, here DNA replication takes place. Okay, DNA replication takes place. Here histone proteins are synthesized. Histone proteins are synthesized. Then you can also mention here that centrosome duplication occurs. Centrosome, this is N. Centrosome duplication also occurs in this phase. This is what S phase. Then after S phase, we have G2 phase, which is also this G1. I must let you. This G1 is known as gap phase, gap 1 phase. Then we have G2 phase, which is also known as gap 2 phase, gap 2 phase, or it is also known as G2 phase. So in G2 phase, cell prepares for further growth and preparation for mitosis. So cell prepares for M phase, mitosis or meiosis if meiotic cell cycle is there. Okay. Here synthesis of microtubules and spindle proteins happens. Synthesis of microtubules and spindle proteins. Spindle proteins happen, and here DNA is checked for replication errors before mitosis begins. So here DNA checks happen so that DNA is properly checked for any kind of replication errors before we move to M phase. Now then we have M phase. So after interphase we have M phase. Okay, so in M phase, which is also known as mitotic or meiotic phase, so it is also divided into 5 subphases. I am taking the next page on M phase. So this M phase is divided into prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So what happens in prophase? Kind of chromosomes condense and nuclear membrane disappears. So you can make a diagram that this is simply a prophase. So here you can see that the chromosome has condensed and nuclear membrane around this chromosome is disappeared. Then in metaphase what happens? Chromosome aligned at equatorial plate. So this is the chromosome. So all the chromosome will be aligned into the equatorial plate like this. There is alignment of chromosome in this. Suppose this is equator, so all chromosomes will be aligning at equatorial plate. Then in anaphase, sister chromatids have separate and moves to opposite ends. So here the sister, this is sister chromatids move to opposite ends. In this end, and this ends. Okay. In this ends and in this ends, opposite ends. Then in telophase, nuclear membrane reappears and chromosome decondenses. So in telophase, you will see that kind of two nuclear membranes reappear. And in cytokinesis, then there happens cytokinesis happens, and in cytokinesis two cells are produced by division. So this is M phase when mitotic phase is there, and when meiotic cell cycle is there, meiotic phase. So in meiotic, as we have to produce four daughter cells, so there is first prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Two cells are produced. Then again there are prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. The same things repeat, so that from these two, four cells are produced. That is why there are four gametes are produced here. So this is about cell cycle. This is about the M phase. So I hope you understand this. So kind of you can mention in prophase that yes, chromosome condense, spindle forms, and nuclear membrane disappear. In metaphase, chromosomes align at equatorial plate. And in anaphase, sister chromatids separate and move to, you can see they are separated and moved to opposite ends. Sister chromatids separate and move to opposite ends. And in telophase, nuclear membrane reappears and chromosome decondensed. Here you can see the chromosome as uncondensed, and in telophase again nuclear membrane appears and the chromosome decondense inside the nuclear membrane, and in cytokinesis obviously the cell is divided into two parts. So this is the phases of cell cycle. Okay. So this you can mention, and obviously in conclusion you can mention that cell cycle is an orderly progression of growth and division, maintaining genetic stability in somatic cells and genetic diversity in reproductive cells. Okay. So this is will be the best conclusion: genetic stability in somatic cells and genetic diversity in reproductive cells. This you can mention in conclusion. So I think if you mention all these things, this would be a very good answer. So I hope you like all the parts of the answer, and you will be able to write a good answer now. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.